want to start off and really tell me a little bit more what the job search was like before joining Pharmacy Career Coach? I'd love to hear about it.
Well, I moved, and when I was in my previous place, I was pharmacy manager, did the usual, 9, 10, 12-hour shifts, and had all the responsibilities of pharmacy manager. I had people under me. I had to worry about scheduling and budgets and filling prescriptions on time and having waiting prescriptions on time and all the different things that they graded us on, plus doing vaccines, plus doing everything else. So it was the usual craziness. But then when I moved, I thought I would be offered the same position or type position within my company. And it turned out that that was not available. There were no full-time positions available. And even if I didn't want to be pharmacy manager, I couldn't get a full-time position. They did offer me hourly employment, which I did accept. And it turned out that I hated it because they can call you anytime to work. You didn't have any control over your life. You had to go in whenever they called you. So that was something that I couldn't really get used to. So then what happened when the COVID pandemic came, I decided that, I'm a little bit older. So I decided it probably wasn't best for me to be in that kind of situation. So I wasn't working, and I figured I would try to find something else, which turned out to be very difficult because I had been in retail pharmacy all my life. That was really the only thing I knew. I never tried to do anything else. And now I was in a position where I was trying to change my career path at a time when there really aren't that many positions in pharmacy available and full-time positions. And it was very competitive out there. And I didn't realize how competitive it would be. So I did get some bites and a couple of interviews, but nothing ever came out of it. So then I decided that, if I was going to change my career path, I needed some help. And there were several places where I could find that, but I never really felt that any of them would pan out. And to be honest, I was a little bit skeptical about this one. And, I had never been that type of person that takes chances with my career, but I figured this was the time. So the help that I got was more than I expected, to be honest. I mean, it turned out to be well worth it. And, I still jumped in with a lot of trepidation, but I felt more comfortable with it as time went on.
Yeah, what were some of the doubts that you had about joining the program?
Well, I was a little concerned about the cost at first. When I investigated a little bit more, I really felt that this one had a lot more to offer. I mean, you have the training videos, you have the personal attention that you get from your coach. And as I looked more into it, I realized that it had a lot, especially your training videos. I thought they were very helpful. And they can be done at your leisure. You can do them as fast as you want or as slowly as you want. So I really got a lot out of them.
That's excellent. Yeah, what were some other areas that the program really helped you out with?
Well, the main thing was to me was using LinkedIn properly because I had never really appreciated the possibilities that it had for you. But when I started to get the help from my coach and how to really do things on it, I was surprised at all the things that you could do, like basically not just making contacts, but that turned out to be the main thing. I mean, it was just, I didn't understand how much you can do with that. I mean, I met so many people on there. And I've never been the type of person that likes to network. I've never been that, believed in it or felt comfortable doing it. But just knowing all the things that you could do on LinkedIn, and I met so many people that were in the same situation or that could give me advice. And as a matter of fact, I contacted someone that works for my new company, and she's kind of served as a sort of mentor to me while I transition into this new career that I have, and which is doing MTM pharmacy work. I never really thought I'd be able to do that. I mean, I did some of them for my company, but I never really got that much out of it. It was at a very busy time in the day, and you really didn't have enough, time to fit it in or do it properly. But she gave me a lot of tips on how to do it and how to transition to my new role with this company. You know, so it really was very helpful. Also, the training, it really gave me a lot of insight on really how to not be afraid to contact people, to network, to project the best part of yourself. And it's very helpful in other parts of your life too. not just in finding a job in pharmacy. It's amazing how much you can learn from it and help you in your everyday life. So,
That's amazing. Well, yeah, I love to hear that because yeah, it's more than just the immediate job. I mean, there's a lot more to it and a lot more, yeah, life skills and everything like that that comes along with it. And
yeah.
so, yeah, what were some of the biggest breakthroughs that you had?
Well, as far as contacting companies, so you go online, you put an application in, and you don't know how it's going to turn out. So one of the big breakthroughs that I got from my coach, that I learned from my coach, was how to follow through with your application. Because you put an application in online, you don't know if anybody's really seeing it. You don't know how you compare to other applicants. But the techniques that I learned really how to follow through and how to stay up with it and contact the person that's doing the review of your application and really get to know what they're looking for, what they're not looking for, and it really helps you feel more confident in your job search. So that was amazing. I mean, I never really thought of it that way. A lot of the things I learned,
I,
and even though a lot of them didn't turn out to be job offers, every time you did it, you learned more, a little bit more, and you got better at it, and just be able to work at that and feel good about it, even though you didn't get the job. That was amazing. And that's something that I really enjoyed and helped you a lot on your next job search. So, other than that, I really think that it's a positive program. I think people should just not consider, just the cost until they look into it and they see all that it can offer. And I would most definitely recommend it to other people who are in the same situation as me. When I got out of pharmacy school, pretty much when you passed the boards, these companies were waiting to grab you. That's changed a little bit now, and you have to really put yourself out there and show what you have to offer, and really learn about what they're looking for in the job and how you're going to project yourself to land that job. And that's something that Pharmacy Career Coach really helped me in.
that's excellent. Yeah, what would you tell someone that just thinks it costs too much?
I would have them look at their job search and any success they've had or lack of success and think, what's missing? Why am I not getting the job when other people are? Why am I not showing the best parts of myself? And this is a program that really gets you to do that. It gets you into the not competitive part of it, but how can I, make myself look the best? How can I show my good qualities? And how can I just project not just my knowledge, but how much I can give to a company, like how much heart I can give to a company. And this really gives you that ability to show, those people that are hiring that you're the one for the job. And it gets you to think along those lines, which I never did before. I always just thought, okay, I'm a pharmacist. I had this many years in practice. I'm a good pharmacist, so a good pharmacist can always get a job. That's how it was years ago. But right now, it's gotten so competitive with so many pharmacy schools opening up, so many people graduating, and also with PharmD degrees, which I didn't have. So I was competing against those. And, it begins to give you a little inferiority complex. Like I don't have the knowledge, I don't have the paper that these people have. But even with this program, it gave me the ability to think, well, what should I do to project myself to get myself ahead of the pack? And I actually got board certified in MTM because it inspired me to go on and try different things. And I probably would have never done that before either, because that had cost involved too, to apply, to put in all the money to apply, to do this and that. And it really ended up being the best thing that I could have done, because I think that helped me for them to want me in this company, to have that other board certification. Just one more thing added to my resume, which was very important. It also made me feel good that I could do it at this point, and pass the exam, which was difficult. And it gave me a lot of confidence that, look, I'm still in the game. I can still do it. So, and I'm sure a lot of people feel like me. I mean, I wasn't really ready to retire, to be honest. I was looking to still give back to my profession, which has been very good to me really through the years. And I know that I have the knowledge, and I knew that I had the ability to give something back and use my clinical knowledge. And now, I mean, I always liked helping patients. That was one of my favorite parts of retail pharmacy, but that was getting less and less, important to these companies. They don't really give you enough time to do that. Now I can just do it at my own pace. I can talk to the people for a half hour, an hour, as much time as I want, and feel like I'm really helping them. So I have to give credit to Pharmacy Career Coach for letting me do that as well.